I always hated the full-time work environment because I felt like I wasn't really fully developing myself in there. Because I didn't really want to listen to the orders of somebody else. But I was actually very wrong of that. Because there's always something that I can learn from somebody else. And there's always somebody else that I have to listen to. You know, there will always be someone who is above you that you can learn from. And I didn't want to do that. And because of that, I handicapped myself from growing in the proper way. Because I was relying too much on my arrogance. I always thought and believed that I was going to be that guy who would make it on his own. You know, I was glamorizing the lone wolf strategy. I learned the hard way that the lone wolf strategy was the worst strategy that I could follow, because there were many opportunities that I failed to listen to what other people were telling me. I remember when I was 20 years old, I desired to be an artist drastically, and I was working a full-time job, and I knew that I had to work a full-time job. And every time that I went to my job, I was pissed off. I was angry because with this time that I was at my job, I could have spent working on music. And then when I was home, I wasn't working on music. And I was angry. I was telling myself, I don't have the time anymore. Like, I've wasted my brain capacity on my job. And that is why I cannot make the music that I want to make. That was an excuse. Because every time during the weekend when I had the opportunity to work, what did I do Friday evening? Well, I went to a friend's home at the time. I sat myself down, ordered some weed, and I smoked till late in the morning. Or let's say early in the morning. Depends on how you want to see it. And then I went to bed, extremely stoned. I woke up the next day, already in the afternoon. And I've already set myself up to be fucked for the rest of the day. And then I was actually fucked. And I didn't do anything with my time. Instead, I complained, and I watched entertainment videos, and I was on Netflix, and I was watching Breaking Bad, which was actually a great show, but at the time, that wasn't the thing that I was supposed to do. And I've done this for years, and I always hated to work this full-time job, like any full-time job that I was in. There was only one simple thing that I needed to do, and that was one simple thing that I needed to realize, and I didn't. I didn't want to learn. You know, I remember so well when I wanted to read books and to improve myself. I bought books, which I then never read, and I told myself arrogantly, I don't need them. Fuck that. I'm gonna learn the hard way through life. Yeah, indeed, that was the hard way, because eventually my mental health plummeted. I was down low, and I was wondering, how can I get myself out of there? And I had to humble myself. I had to take myself, sit myself down, and look at all the things that I did wrong. And one of them was simply the fact that I was running away from the fact that I needed to listen to other people. We will always need a coach. You know, it's like going to a boxing gym to learn how to box and then not listening to the tips your coach is giving you. Why are you there? You're not there to learn then. Your intention is already wrong. You shouldn't be there if you're not willing to learn. If you're there to teach the coach, what? Are you there to teach the coach? No. I had this tendency every time somebody was teaching me something, I wanted to argue back. And I wanted to show them no, this is the way that you should do it. And this brings me back to this moment when I was in a course. And there was this guy. He was 19 years old. He was 19 years old. And he was always biting back at the teacher. You know, he felt like he knew more than the teacher. And he was constant with everything the teacher said. He was like, oh, no. You're wrong. It's like this, it's like that. And he was doing that for an entire week. I don't know how the teacher managed to be so patient with him, but that is crazy. At that moment, I was thinking back about myself and I was like, oh, damn, I was that same person and nobody liked me. It's not fun to teach somebody who was constantly arguing back and who was too arrogant and thinks that he's too good. That is ego in its rawest form. My ego has held me back so much. You know, what I couldn't accept is that I'm simply not that good as I think I am. And I've had this bad behavior, and now I'm reminded about the fact that, when I was an artist, I most of the time didn't meet with other people who were artists as well, because I was condescending them. I was telling myself, oh, they're smoking. Oh, they're doing bad habits. I don't want to be surrounded by them. There's nothing that I can learn from people like them. But they're exactly the people who were selling out shows, who were making progress towards becoming their greatest selves despite of the habits that they were doing. They were actually doing what I wanted, and I was condescending them. I was being fucking arrogant. I was being this prick. Of course I didn't deserve to be an artist. Of course I didn't deserve the success. I wasn't willing to humble myself. I wasn't willing to sit myself down and to actually listen to what somebody else can teach me, to look at how they are living their artist life so that I can take that with me and implement into my own life. I never wanted to collab with anyone simply because of my arrogance. Like, what kind of life am I living then? I was so rigidly stuck with these core values that I had, which weren't really core values. They were simply just a veil that were covering my eyes from the truth that I needed to accept. And that is that I'm not that good. And now I have to constantly remind myself that I'm not that good. And I can never turn down the advice of somebody else. I should always listen to what somebody else tells me. No, of course you have to be careful. Of course you don't have to take on the advice of somebody else and implement it into your life. We should always listen to what somebody else is telling you. And especially this, I wanted to be successful by my own, like the lonely journey, as I said in the beginning, like glamorizing the lone wolf strategy. What I didn't want to do is to get close to people who were already successful, because I said to myself, fuck them, I'm better than them. Fuck them, I will do more than what they did. Now look at me standing here right now telling you that that was not the case. You want to have as much exposure as possible towards other people who have that what you want. And you should never say that you are better than them, because they have that what you want. Even if they have bad habits, that is not a reason for you to condescend someone like I did. Like, I hope this message has been able to come across. I hope that you can do something with it, and I hope that my story can inspire you to live differently. I want to wish you a very nice day. Remember that you are 100% responsible for the results in your life. Make the hard decision today, and I'll see you in the next one. All right? Bye-bye.